Let's go this way. The $238 million loan the government is already proposing seems to be a laudable move that will help boost our infrastructure and the electricity value chain. But with the history of abandoned projects across Nigeria, what do you think the government can put in place to further reassure Nigerians that this will not be one of such projects?
If I answer you, let me tell you, I have one worry. Each time these issues are discussed in the media, you wouldn't see anybody representing the Minister of Power on the set and Minister of Finance to discuss these issues. The government will stay away. And you see private people like us come and talk. And then they gather what we say and raise propaganda and confuse the citizens the more. For instance, a discussion like this, the Minister of Power should be here. Minister of Finance should be here. And let's discuss this matter. There are so many loans that have been collected by Nigeria. Nigeria, as of today, is losing their independence. We are going back to slavery. Because if you are economically enslaved, you are not free. Today, Nigeria is owing. The World Bank has put in about 18.2 billion naira, $1 billion in Nigeria. China, $5.16 million. France, $652.7 million. Germany, $125.62 million. IMF, $3.4 billion as at May 2025. All these monies all these are loans. You could see that the House of Representatives is investigating the 59 billion naira loan for Mitre, which was in the media over the weekend. How are these monies utilized before you borrow more? Now, when you are owing World Bank, you are owing IMF, you are owing China, you are owing Germany, you are owing France, where lies the independence of this nation?
But some people might argue with you, Mr. Okorie, some people might argue with you that taking loans is not bad. The reasons for taking those loans should be what should be considered. And this is for public infrastructure to improve a challenge that we all agree that we have a power challenge in Nigeria. Now, are you saying that the problem now is that we're taking too much loans, or the reason for taking this loan is not transparent enough?
Utilized. We hear about loans. We don't hear about the utilization. We need to see how are these monies used. For instance, the power sector you're talking about now has been decentralized. States are having their own electricity markets. And how are they going to manage, bring loan? Will they bring loan now and share it to the states to handle their transmission lines? What is the policy framework on managing transmission lines and infrastructure? The meter they borrowed for, is meter not an infrastructure? Is meter not a power sector infrastructure? How is the money utilized? What worries us more is that these nations that are giving these loans will tell you they are supporting Nigeria to grow. They are supporting anti-corruption. But why are they not putting money to support ICPC, EFCC, Consumer Protection Commission, to investigate how these monies are utilized? And if private sector of CSOs approach them, they'll tell you they want government to government. They want government to go. Is ICPC not government? Is EFCC not government? Is the Consumer Protection Commission not government? Why is World Bank that claims they are in Nigeria to help the... There's a kind of conspiracy among the international community that are giving these loans. A prodigal son cannot be funded. Because if you don't see the result of the one given, and you can't do accountability by government alone. In Nigeria, government make policy, government implement, government evaluate, government monitor. Where are the demand side representatives? The citizens for which these monies are collected. When have they started with government to look at how these monies are utilized? But these monies are being borrowed on behalf of Nigerian citizens. Even children unborn will grow up to meet loan that will affect their growth and their future. So it is not proper. I'm not saying that loan is wrong. But let all the monies that have been borrowed since privatization in 2013, let us review how they've been utilized.
Now, Mr. Okorie, before such monies are taken, or before bills are passed, or proposals like this, they go through the National Assembly. And there are processes to this, which includes public hearing. Now, when public hearing is being called for issues like this, why are voices like yours on
When have they called public hearing on borrowing for power sector? When? And even when the National Assembly do that public hearing, you know their own is to monitor, do oversight, and come up with resolutions. And when they say it is the executive that will implement, is the executive implementing any? Now, I remember that we made presentation during the National Assembly investigation of the Band A increase in tariff. Every suggestion was made. National Assembly came up with a position. Did the executive implement? Now, why will that shows you again the position of our democracy. We are in trouble. Because when, okay, this morning now the Minister for Power, I say, what is the report of the Minister of Power on the 200 billion naira loan of 2020? What is the report? Ask the Minister, where is the report of utilization of that 200 billion naira loan, out of which 59 billion was released? And out of the 59, what got to the people was 55 billion. What happened to them? And how many meters were installed? Has there been verification? Now, what we are saying here is, you see, this idea of go and borrow, any administration that comes, use the power sector as a cash cow. Has there been any impact assessment by consumers? Has there been any forum where the minister brought consumers together and brought these people together to say, okay, where do we go from here? These monies we borrowed, see the way it is. How many states does all these monies they borrow impact on? Today, even all the money World Bank has put in GIZ, even as they're talking of this one now, remember African Development Bank is driving renewable energy. Loan is coming from there too. Money is coming from there. So are you working on transmission or you're working on renewable? Which one are we taking? Just like you have the roads that are bad, you have not repaired them, you are doing coastal highway. And the ones you can't drive from here at Asaba, but you're building coastal highway, destroying houses. I mean, the policy direction of the government is really confusing and worrisome. We cannot live on loan. We have oil in this country. How much is generated from our oil? How much is generated from the natural gold and all the things in Zamfara? How much is generated from them? Who accounts? There's coal in Enugu. How much is generated from it? Oh, okay, look at since this administration came. The cost of tariff in electricity has increased. The fuel cost has increased. Every tariff, telecommunication, where is the money? All the money generated through these sources, where are they? That you keep generating and Nigerians are suffering. You are still borrowing. You are putting the living Nigerians into poverty and penury. And you are not creating another poverty and penury and destruction for upcoming generations who will now struggle to pay back these loans. It's unacceptable.